Okay, so today's lesson we are going to be looking at multiplying decimals using base 10 blocks. So first, the flat is equal to the whole. On a place value chart, it is in the value of the ones. So basically our whole hundredths here is going to be 1. It's equal to 1 whole. Okay, and then we're going to have our decimal. Then our tens bar is going to be in our tenths place, which this would represent 0.1 or 1/10. Then our single cube here is going to be the hundredths or 0.01 or 1/100ths. So if I had 2 wholes, that would equal 2. If I had 3 10 bars, that would equal 0.3 or 3/10. And if I had 5 single cubes, then that would be 0.03 or 3/100ths. So this written as a decimal would be 2.35. My yellow cubes here. So what does this mean for multiplication? All right, for multiplying, if we were to multiply 2 times 3 and we were to make this an array, I'd have my 2 times my 3. And remember that these are our wholes, so I would have 2 rows of 3. Which would equal 6. So this is just going to give us a basic understanding. Or I could have 3 rows of 2, which would also give me 6. So see how here I have 3? I'm not going to just add 2 more here. I already have 1. This 2 already represents this 1, which is going to be very helpful later on when we are using this to multiply. So basically I have to have 3 on this side, 2 on this side, and then I have to go fill in the rest. All right, so to go back and review, remember that our ones place is represented as a flat. And then we have our rods here, which are our 1/10 or 0.1. And then our unit here is equal to 1/100th. Okay, so for example, this problem here, we are going to be multiplying 0.7 times 0.8. So if I take my 0.7, I'm going to put that on one side. That means I'm going to have 7 rods. And this means I'm going to have 8 rods. So I'm going to take... Alright, so I need to color in 8 rods, or 7 rods with my 0.7. So I have 1 rod, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rods. So that represents my 0.7. Now this way, I'm going to have to color in 8 rods, because remember that 1 rod equals 1/10, and I have 8/10. So here is 1 rod, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now remember that the double shaded area is going to be my solution, my product. So, and that each single equals 1/100th. So I'm going to count how many hundredths I have, and if I get to 10, that is going to equal a tenth. So let's count how many I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Remember that 10 1/10ths equals, or 1/100ths equals 1/10. So this is going to give me 1 rod. So I'm going to just change up my color here, and this is, I'm going to change it up, and then, so let's figure out how another, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that is another tenth. Let's see if we can make another. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's another 10 1/100ths. So that would be 1/10. Another rod. Let's see if I can build another rod. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, let's see if we can build another. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so each one of my colors here is going to represent a tenth. So I have 1/10, 2/10, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to have 0.5. And then how many 1/100ths do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a 6 is going to go in the 100th place. I do not have anything in my double shaded region here that is part of the ones place value. So I have 6, or I have 0.56 would be my product. Because I have 5/10ths and 6/100ths. All right, let's try this again. All right, so we are going to think of this again as like an array. So I'm going to take my 1/7, and I'm going to have 1 whole and 7/10, so 7 rods. And then my 0.5, which would be 5 rods. So remember when we were multiplying up here, I had 2 this way and 3 this way, and then I had to fill in the rest. That is the same way here. So if I have 1 whole and then I have 7 rods, so I'm going to fill in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rods. Now over here, I'm going to have my 0.5. So that means I'm going to have 5 rods or 5 place values. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But remember, we had to fill in the rest of the area across. So the double shaded area that is both colors is going to be my solution. So we need to figure out how many 100ths I have, and then we can break them into groups of 10 so that we can figure out how many tenths we have. Well, right now I can pretty much figure out how many tenths I have, at least some of them. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's count how many hundredths I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 100ths. So that would be 1/10 because this makes a rod. Okay, let's see if I can make another tenth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So again, this makes another rod. So that means because I have 10 100ths, which equals 1/10. So I have another rod here. So it's another 0.1. So I have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So again, I have another 10 100ths, which equals 1/10. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hundredths left over. So I have 1 100th or 1/10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tenths, which means that would be 8 inside my tenths place. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hundredths, means I would have 5 in my hundredth place. So I'm going to have my answer, or my product, as 0.85. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, so for this one, I am multiplying 0.1 times 2.1. So I'm going to have my 0.1 on this side. So that means I'm going to have 1 rod. But remember that this has to extend all the way down because you have to fill it in. Then over here, we're going to have 2.1. Then we're making an array. So I remember that 100 or hundredths or flats piece is equal to 1. So I need to have 2. Then I have our tenths. So I have 1/10, so that's 1 rod. Alright, so our shaded area is our product, our answer. So remember that we are going to be finding our rods. How many rods I'm going to have here? So here I have 1/10, 2/10, and I have 1 1/100th left over. So, or my product is 0.21.